So I've been in business school for the last 2 years. I did 1 year and 8 months at ESSEC Business School in Paris and 4 months at an MBA exchange at Cornell University in the US. And one thing's for sure, my experience has been amazing. But it's also been completely different than what I imagined it would be. Today, I'll talk about the reality of doing an MBA or a master's abroad. It won't be like those day in the life videos where all they show are the best parts of their life. I'll keep it real and show you both the ups and the downs. If this is the first time you're seeing me, I'm Fazil. I help people make the right decisions about their careers. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. It'll be a win-win for the both of us. August 18th, 2023 was when I moved from India to France. I still remember the exact date because that's how excited I was to sit on that flight. I still remember I couldn't sleep a few days before the flight and I just stay up all night watching videos about studying abroad, how exciting it is, how you get to meet new people, how you party every single day, how much you travel, and I was pumped. I wanted to experience every single thing. You know those brochures where business schools show you the diversity of their class? They'll have one black person, one white person, one Indian, one Asian, all sitting in a group, smiling and having fun. And I fell for that marketing material. Only after coming here did I realize that all marketers are liars. And that's the first reality check I got. The diversity they show in brochures is a myth. Diversity is great, don't get me wrong, but some culture gaps are so big that starting second week of college, certain groups just naturally get formed. Indians hang out with Indians, Chinese hang out with Chinese, French hang out with French. And I especially noticed this in the US. In the US, there was a group of Indians, and there was another group of Indians born in the US. And they were two separate groups. And that to me was the funniest thing. How are both of your names Ramesh, but you can't find anything in common to talk about? Yes, you can take different steps to prevent this from happening, but the fact is that life around you is suddenly so different that you crave some familiarity with the people around you. Another thing I was really looking forward to is learning something amazing in class. You know, having that one course which excites you, which motivates you to come to class every single day. And let me tell you, that happens, but it's extremely rare. See, I did a BBA and I learned absolutely nothing. I was always personally interested in marketing and wanted to specialize in marketing. But the marketing they taught in my BBA didn't match with the marketing actually happening in the world. They were still talking about newspapers and billboard ads when almost all of marketing had shifted to social media. The curriculum in my master's is a lot better, but still not entirely relevant to what is happening in the world today. Everything is changing so fast, and there's no way professors can integrate these developments in their curriculum. So you're always learning something which happened 1 year ago, 2 years ago, or even 5-10 years ago. Also in Europe, most professors, most teachers, they don't have any real world experience. They're all PhD holders who've studied their subjects deeply, who've done research reports and studies, but never actually built anything. Classes in Europe are extremely theoretical. And that's one thing which was a lot better in the US. A lot of my professors in the US were actually visiting faculty who had their own businesses, who had actual real world experience. These are the courses where you actually learn something exciting. And the 6 courses I did during my MBA exchange were better than all the courses I've done here in France. Another false expectation I had was that now that I've gotten into a good university, I have this university on my resume, my job is done. It's going to be extremely easy to find internships, to find jobs, to find opportunities. And let me tell you, it doesn't work that way. And I learned this the hard way. When I first started applying for internships, I used to maintain an Excel sheet where I would track all my applications, see which applications got rejected, see which applications went to the interview round. I did this for the first 10 applications, then for the first 20, the first 30, 40, 50. And the next thing I know, I've applied to 100 places and not gotten a single interview. And that's when I realized I was overestimating how important my university's name is and underestimating how important it is to show my skills, to show my experiences and match them with what employers want. Only once I shifted my strategies, showed them my proof of work, sent cold emails and built relationships, did I see any real improvement. And only after doing this for a decent period of time did I receive my first offer. Now these were sort of the negative experiences I had. What I expected to be easier but turned out to be quite hard. But it wasn't all like this. There are certain things which I didn't expect to, but which have made my experience amazing. But before I talk about these, I want to introduce one resource which made all of this possible, and that's Target Test Prep, the sponsor of today's video. It's the only resource you need to prep for the GMAT or the GRE, which are the exams you need to write to get into a top MBA program. It's personally what I used to get a 98th percentile score in just 1 month of prep, which is what helped me get into both ESSEC and Cornell. TTP has everything you need to prepare: theory, practice problems, study plans, error logs, every single thing. And the best part about it is that, like the GMAT or the GRE, TTP tracks everything you do with real data, which means it knows both your strengths and weaknesses, and it adapts the study plan on the basis of these, which makes your prep so much more effective. It's super comprehensive yet quite manageable, and you can also adapt your study plan on the basis of how many days you have to prepare, which is amazing if you don't have a long time. They have a 5-day free trial, so try it out, see if you like it. If you like it, amazing. If you don't like it, then there's literally no risk. But one thing's for sure, they're the best GMAT prep platform out there. If you are preparing for the GMAT, then make sure you check out my other videos explaining how I got my score. And make sure you check out Target Test Prep. I'll leave a link in the description below. The first and maybe the most important thing business school gave me is clarity. When I was back in India planning my career and writing my MBA applications, I was clear in my head that I wanted to become a consultant. But I had no experience in consulting. I had no friends in consulting. I probably didn't even know what consulting even meant. I just saw a couple of YouTube videos about the salary, about the travel, about advising CEOs, and thought, okay, that's my dream. Only after coming here, after starting my masters, after taking part in different clubs and associations, after actually joining the consulting club, did I realize that I don't want to become a consultant. I don't want to work on projects where all I do is advise people on what to do. What I want to do is execute, is build things, is sell. I want to actually work on products myself rather than advise people on how to do better with their company. But I was only able to realize this for myself once I got this experience. Only once I did an actual consulting project. And that's what business school gives you. It gives you the opportunity to try out different fields, see what you're good at, see what you like, and then commit to a long-term career. A career which you'll actually enjoy and which you'll actually grow in. Also, while I'm talking about this, let me tell you how important clubs and associations are. If you're going to do an MBA or a master's abroad, do not underestimate this. Take part in as many clubs and associations as you can for the sole purpose of understanding what you like and what you don't like. Because a lot of what you do in business school will be counterintuitive. And the only way you'll know is by getting a taste of everything. The second thing business school taught me, and especially business school abroad, is the skill of networking. Everyone tells you how important it is to network, but no one tells you how to network. A lot of people still think that networking is sending connection requests to random people on LinkedIn. That's what I thought as well before my MBA. But I was wrong. One thing I've realized is that no matter what you're doing, you'll do it 10 times better and 100 times faster if you do it with the right set of people. That's true for class projects, that's true for entrepreneurship, that's true for YouTube videos, anything. And the key to finding the right people is not by sending a random message on LinkedIn saying, "It's great to connect with you, I would love to learn from you." I'm sure all of you already know that this doesn't work. What you do is you start by offering something first. You start by being valuable to that person. Offer anything. It can be as simple as sharing a post which is related to what they're doing. If there is something you learned which can help them, it can be anything. But the point is, it has to be give and take. You can't expect people to just help you from the goodness of their heart because the world doesn't work that way. People just don't have the time, and you have to make it worthwhile for them to spend their time on you. And this learning absolutely changed how I approach networking. It changed how I cold email people. It changed how I speak with people. When you approach people with the perspective of how can you help them versus how they can help you, you build real foundation. You build a real network, which is very different from sending a random connection request on LinkedIn. Also, when you're in business school, you have group projects, you have assignments, you have presentations. And you work on these presentations with people from different nationalities, different ways of working which you aren't used to. Some are extremely relaxed, some want to hustle, some don't even care. Sometimes there's a language barrier. But through all of these projects, you learn how to deal with people. I know that's a very simple way of saying it, but it's true. When you've grown up interacting with people from your surroundings, like I did, I grew up in Bangalore, I studied in Bangalore, I worked in Bangalore. When you do this, you start thinking that people are the same everywhere. Only once I started my masters and started doing these group projects did I learn the importance of managing people. How you can manage people from different backgrounds to ensure your work gets done. And let me tell you, it's a lot harder than it sounds. But if you want to have a global career, if you want to work abroad, if you want to start a business, it's an absolutely essential skill to have, and a skill which you will develop doing an MBA abroad. And that's it. That's my authentic, real experience. If you like this video and want to see more like this, then make sure you subscribe. I'll keep helping you make the right decisions about your career, and it'll be a win-win for the both of us.